So a little while ago, I made a video called Being Pro-Choice Does Not Mean Pro-Abortion, and I'll put the link in the description in case you want to see what I mean by that, in case you haven't already seen the video. So now I'm going to do on the other side of the argument. Being pro-life doesn't, like, people who tend to be pro-life don't actually tend to be actually pro-life. They're pro-fetus more often than not. And the reason why I say that is that the same people who are saying, who are adamantly against abortion and all this other stuff, or even fucking birth control and the Plan B pill, which is not the abortion pill. Anyways, there is a pill you can take with at a certain stage in the pregnancy, early on in the pregnancy, which will induce a miscarriage. And that would be the abortion pill, not fucking Plan B. Plan B is an emergency birth control. It basically either stops you from having your it works in 3 ways. It stops you from having your ovulation, so the egg can't meet the sperm. Or, if you've already ovulated, it makes it so that the mucus in your tubes and uterus and area gets thicker, so that the sperm gets stuck and it can't reach the egg. Or it makes the uterine wall slippery, so that the stuff can't work to end up making a baby. Anyways, so moving on from that, so all these people who are so adamantly opposed of freaking abortion are the same kind of people who are pro-death penalty and are racist assholes, because they tend to be. Now, I'm not saying every single person who's pro-life are those typical conservative bigot assholes, but that tends to make up the majority. Now, I myself, I'd like to make this clear, I am a pro-choicer, but I am not personally for abortion. But that's my own personal choice. If ever I ended up getting pregnant and I didn't want the baby, or if ever I ended up getting pregnant, I don't know if I would be able to do the abortion thing, because yeah, that's kind of tricky, but that's for me. I understand that that's not the way everyone else feels. And I was adamantly pro-life for the longest fucking time until I ended up getting raped and I had a late period and I was terrified and I was considering the pill that you take to induce a miscarriage, because I just saw it as flushing away a bundle of cells, and it was, except I still don't know if I could have done it. Luckily, before I would have gone to the doctor, my period did come, so I was okay. So, but then it totally made me revise my whole opinions on the topic. And so there's one good thing that came out of that awful experience, but the thing is that you have these assholes, and if you really, the same assholes who are freaking anti-abortion, again, like I said, are anti-birth control, anti-condom even. I'm sorry, but it has been proven time and time again that abstinence-only education leads to having the highest rates of teen pregnancy. So if we actually taught about contraception, because here's the thing that actually stops people from getting abortions. You prevent the pregnancy in the fucking first place with birth control and condoms and other contraceptives. It also just leads to safer sex, because the thing is that people are gonna have sex. It's in our biology, so the majority of people, they're like, I'm horny, let's go have sex. It's natural, there's nothing wrong with it, and to my my sex repulsed ace people, it's fine if you don't want it, but majority of people do, and there's nothing wrong with whatever. You can't control how someone's biology is gonna, do that. It's kind of necessary for the species to continue that most of us have sex. It's kind of just, nature and stuff. So, and actually the places that have the most contraception, but these same people are against all that stuff because they're all about abstinence. But the thing is that they're the same people who bitch about people who are on welfare, and they are the same people who don't want to pay for Medicare, or they don't want to do all this other stuff, and they look down on poor families and all this other sort of stuff. Again, this is not every single person, but so if they were actually pro-life, instead of just antagonizing anyone who decides to go into a Planned Parenthood thing, they would be raising funds for fucking they would be raising funds for all sorts of stuff like I don't know, child care, to stop fucking killing innocent people because of they'd be pro-life in that, oh, if we're in Canada here, what about all those poor Aboriginal women who are getting freaking kidnapped and murdered all the time and nothing is being fucking done about it? I'm fucking pro-life in that I think their lives have worth, and yeah, let's save their fucking lives here. They already have started living a life. A fucking bundle of cells in a woman's uterus is the potential for life. It's not life yet, in my opinion. I mean, anyways. Or in the States, freaking all the black kids that are, not even just kids, but all the black people who are getting murdered by the police for no good fucking reason. Or all the freaking immigrants who, like, there's children of them, too, and there's children like black people, like fucking Tamir Rice, 12 years old, that is a child. Anyways, and then there's fucking, the immigrant kids and stuff like that, and like send them back to their own country where they could get fucking raped, murdered, sold into whatever. No, you don't give a fuck about them. You just care about that fetus. But and the stupid thing is that they're so obsessed with the fetus's life, yet they give no shits for anyone else. And you know what's even worse? Because the thing is that they always say is like, oh, you can't handle having a baby, put it up for adoption. Here's the problem, though. You do realize that there are way too many kids up for adoption and all this other stuff, and not enough parents. And a lot of these pro-lifers are also anti-gay marriage. And did you know that if you allowed a gay couple to raise, or a same-sex couple, they're not always both gay, anyways, queer couples basically, to raise these children that are being put up for adoption, there wouldn't be any children left in the foster care adoption system, because there are more queer couples looking to adopt that aren't able to adopt than, well, that plus the other types of people, than there are kids in the foster care system. So shut the fuck up, saying it's so easy to say, just put the kid up for adoption, because somehow they think that there's a bunch of happy Christian families that are going to take these kids in, and when in reality, no, there really fucking isn't. And another thing about the queer parents, it has been scientifically proven, because a lot of people say, well, no, they're going to get fucked up for life because they don't have a male figure, they don't have a female figure because it's the queer blah, blah, blah. No, shut the fuck up, because it's actually been scientifically proven that overall, statistically speaking, the queer people make the better parents because they're more understanding, they are more willing to listen to their child and having their issues because they know what it's like to be treated like shit. So, yeah, and also there is not a single unwanted child in a queer or a same-sex relationship, whereas most children of heterosexual relationships are unplanned, like the vast majority of it. Like, let's just look at my fucking family. My parents were very young when they had when they started a family, and they only got married because my mom got knocked up with my brother at 21. That's younger than me. And so again, the whole whatever, which, I mean, if they didn't end up continuing a family, my sister and I wouldn't exist. So it had to happen. Anyways, but their marriage only lasted 7 years. They split up when I was 5. And my sister was like not even a year old. So that, and I had, and then I ended up growing up with a single mom in a freaking poverty-stricken whatever, and treated like shit by all those fucking assholes who think she's, whatever. And then it's just, if you really, I just hate these people who claim to be pro-life, who make life miserable for so many people. And the thing is too, is that sometimes abortions save lives. And I know it sounds contradictory, but I've actually heard people say that having an abortion, if the fetus growing inside of you is threatening your health and you could die, they're against that kind of abortion too. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? The baby's gonna die. If the mom dies, the baby can't survive. Because also another argument that I've heard that's just shut the fuck up is, it's like, it shows like women's, it's like My Body and whatnot, and all this other agency and stuff like that, and then they're like, well, that fetus's body isn't your body. Yes, but without my body, that fetus cannot survive. And on that point, people who are against abortion are literally giving dead people more right to their bodies than fucking living women, or not just women, living people with uteruses. Do you know why I say that? Unless you have signed up to be a legal organ donor, even if you're the perfect match for this kid who's gonna die of freaking, because they need a heart transplant, and they will die unless they get a heart transplant and you're the only match, if you didn't sign up to be an organ donor, they can't take that heart and put it in that kid and make that kid survive. So that kid's life is dependent on that part of your body. But if you didn't sign up, then whatever. It's the same sort of thing. Is that we're literally saying that a dead body has more agency over their own body than a fucking woman or person with a uterus. Do you see how fucked up that is? Now, I personally am an organ donor, and I suggest you all to fucking register for that shit, because you have to actually sign up online and stuff like that. But, yeah, like, shut up. I'm not gonna like I said, I'm not personally comfortable with abortion sort of thing, I don't think. But I've never fully been in that situation. But if someone else feels that that's the best choice for them, I'm not going to say anything. I say other than I'm here for you if you need to talk, or unless I don't know them, because of course I'm not going to be like, oh, you can talk to me, a total fucking stranger, about your emotional issues. But if someone else is having an abortion, I'm like, that's you. That's what you find is your best choice for your life in your situation. Okay? So, yeah, shut up.